Hi everyone, and welcome to the Nature's Path cooking stage. I'm so excited to announce our first speaker of the day, Kait McNamee, who's a gluten-free blogger and penny-pinching celiac. Today, she'll be sharing a gluten-free food plan with meal suggestions that are under $3 per serving, as well as other creative recipes and ideas. Please put your hands together for Kait McNamee.
I don't know why I'm wearing gloves when I'm not even cooking. Now I just feel weird. Hi guys, I'm Kait, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about eating gluten-free on a budget. So I got diagnosed with celiac disease. Any other celiacs or gluten intolerance out there? Yeah, high five. I got diagnosed when I was in grad school, and that time in my life was a very lean time in my life financially. I was making almost no money. I had to sell my bicycle to buy a bag of dog food at one point. That's how broke I was. So I'm kind of used to living a little bit lean with the gluten-free stuff. Even though my circumstances have changed a little bit, clearly now I'm gainfully employed and using my English degree super well. But we're going to talk today about how to make a main course. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to cook everything that we want to cook, but we are going to show you how to cook a gluten-free dessert that's actually also vegan. So yeah, not on purpose, but by accident. So we're going to show you how to make a dessert, and we're going to talk about different options for making meals under $3 per serving. So not yet. Let's talk about main courses. So after I got diagnosed with celiac, I ate nachos for literally 3 months straight. Right? She gets it. She's like, same thing. Because corn chips, I knew, were gluten-free, and then I would just put a can of beans on top of them. But eventually, I was able to get to a registered dietitian who told me probably don't eat nachos every day. And she recommended eating more vegetables, which, let me tell you, it is still a struggle to eat vegetables for me. I struggle daily to get my vegetable intake all the time. So basically, what she had recommended to me is kind of the plan that I'm going to talk to you guys about, which is starch, vegetable, protein. It's pretty basic, pretty straightforward, but I'll give you some options and some ideas for things that are a little bit cheaper. So first things first, has anyone who switched to a gluten-free diet noticed how expensive gluten-free products are? It's like really expensive. Even now, so I work for Udi's, and I will still bring home the bread from the factory, like the rejected bread, and like put it in my freezer. Because like even though it's rejected, I'll just bring it home and freeze it because it's really expensive. So one of the ways to stay gluten-free and also kind of think about your wallet and think about keeping it a little bit cheaper is to go with things that are naturally gluten-free. So a lot of stuff that I do has rice in it. Rice is pretty much my #1 starch. Also potatoes. I didn't buy a bag of potatoes to display today because that'd just be weird. So we have some rice. And pretty much my favorite thing to do with rice is just to stir fry. So get a rice cooker. Wait, who has a rice cooker here? You don't have a rice cooker? Oh my God, my life literally changed when I got a rice cooker. I grew up cooking rice in a pot. Has anyone ever cooked it in a pot? It's really, like, it sticks to the sides and it's terrible, but if you cook it in the rice cooker, it's like life-changing. And you can get a rice cooker for about $10, which for a small one, for a single person one. So pretty much what I'll do is just rice and then stir fry. And I grew up not knowing anything about stir fry at all, or about vegetables, clearly, because I don't eat them. But I'll just grab a bag of frozen vegetables. This is $1. This is $1. Do you know how many nutrients are in this, guys? A lot. I don't know. I'm not a registered dietitian, so I can't tell you that. But $1. So we have this bag of rice that's about $8. We have this for $1, which leaves you, if we're doing a meal for 4 people, about $3 more extra to buy a protein. So you can buy some chicken breasts, cut them up, cook them. We also have gluten-free soy sauce. So basically, when you're gluten-free, you have to avoid the soy sauce, unfortunately, I know. Soy sauce was one of the things that I actually didn't know had wheat in it until I got diagnosed with celiac, and I was like, holy crap, it's actually 98% wheat and like 1% soy, and that's terrible and really sad. So you can find gluten-free soy sauce. We got this one at Safeway, right? Like a mile away from here, or kilometer away from here. Sorry, I'm from the States. We use miles. So this is about, how much was this one? $2 to $3. And you can reuse it over and over. But what I also didn't know, so okay, soy sauce, some chicken, a little bit of ginger maybe, and you've got a stir fry, right? It's kind of plain, kind of simple, kind of still college student-y. So my new secret ingredient since I met this guy has been, it's a Vietnamese sauce. It's called Nuoc Mam, which is actually, it's a fish sauce. So sorry, vegetarians. It's a sweet fish sauce. Would you like to explain it? Okay. So it's a sweet fish sauce. And basically, you only need like a tiny, tiny bit. And it has carrots and a little bit of sugar and some garlic in it. You can also get this at the grocery store. You guys also have an H Mart here, which is the best. Highly recommend H Mart. But this one's actually labeled gluten-free. So you can just check the label. It'll say gluten-free. And this adds so much more flavor and actually makes it feel like a slightly more fancy meal instead of just a $1 bag of vegetables and some rice or some chicken breasts. But yeah, so secret ingredient, Nuoc Mam, or this is called Vietnamese dipping sauce if we don't want to translate it. Yeah. As far as other meals, so I'm going to tell you my secret, my best recipe that I make is a recipe called giant meatball. And it's basically like a meatloaf, except instead of seasoning it like a meatloaf, do you guys make meatloaf in Canada? Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, good. Does anyone like meatloaf? Does anyone hate meatloaf? I grew up hating meatloaf. Oh my God. My mom would make it and I would literally be like, this is terrible. I don't want to eat this. It was like a weird hamburger. So in order to avoid making meatloaf as an adult, I started making giant meatball. So all of these spices were around $1 to $2. So you can get all the spices you need for really, really cheap, and they last really, really long, and you can make many giant meatballs from all of these spices. So giant meatball is basically just some breadcrumbs. Now these are going to be the most expensive thing you buy. Unfortunately, the giant meatball doesn't really hold together well without some sort of breadcrumb or starch holding it together. You can try rice. There are some people who hold it together, just like stuffed peppers. They'll hold together meatballs with rice. You can also try gluten-free oats, but gluten-free oats are going to cost you about the same price as gluten-free breadcrumbs. So I'll just usually buy the breadcrumbs. They're about $5 to $6, I think. And then get some ground meat. You can do ground beef or ground turkey. I prefer ground turkey. And then you just mix it up with all the different seasoning. Season to your own flavorings, like whatever you guys like the taste of. And mix it all together and bake it. And it is literally the best thing ever. You can also, if you want to be extra fancy, stuff some mozzarella cheese in there and let it erupt out while it's cooking. And it's really good. And then also, I tend to make my own sauces. So even though there's a lot of gluten-free sauces out there, and they're pretty cheap now, I think Berea is like $3, right? I just have grown up kind of now making my own sauces since I got diagnosed a while ago. So basically just getting a can of diced tomatoes. This is like 89 cents. Spicing it up with the spices, putting in a couple cloves of garlic. Boom, you've got a sauce. Put in some wine. Drink some wine while you're cooking it. It makes everything taste better afterwards. Yeah, so you can make a sauce really easy. The most expensive part will be the actual pasta. So how much was this pasta? This is a bag of pasta that can serve probably 2 to 3 people, maybe 4 if you guys don't eat that much pasta. I think it was around $5.99. So that's going to be your biggest investment. You can also do giant meatball over rice, but sometimes you get tired of eating rice, guys. So as far as a meal plan goes, pretty much what I do is starch, so potato, rice, sometimes pasta, vegetable. I always do frozen vegetables. I travel a lot, so my vegetables, I can't afford to have my produce go bad. It's expensive to buy produce and then have it just go to waste. I used to have a roommate who would literally, like, she loved the idea of produce, but she didn't like cooking the produce. So she would like buy all this fancy produce, like all these beets and stuff and Swiss chard or whatever, and then she would just like let it sit for weeks. And then once it was all wilty, she'd be like, "Oh, Kate, do you want that? Because I don't want it." And I'd be like, "No, now it's bad. I could have used it like 2 weeks ago." But yeah, if you like the idea of produce but don't know when you're going to use it, definitely recommend freezer bags. They're just like $1 or $2, and you can use them anytime. I mean, that's generally one of my secret tricks to cooking. Also, you could just buy a bag of broccoli, throw that into some mac and cheese, some gluten-free mac and cheese, and have a slightly healthier meal. You can also cut up a hot dog and put it in, but that's like for children, so I don't recommend that. But I have the palate of a child. So yeah, as far as proteins go, meat can be expensive, so I usually will have some sort of beans or some sort of, we have tofu, fried tofu a lot. You can get that at H Mart too. But if you like meat, go for it. It's a good protein. Anyone else have any favorite proteins that aren't meat? No? No one? Huh? Chickpeas! Chickpeas are good. Oh man, put them in a salad with some eggs, some like hard-boiled eggs and some balsamic. Super good. Oh, also eggs. Does anyone here have chickens? I have chickens! So I have chickens, and I highly recommend getting chickens because they will change your life. They're like tiny dinosaurs, and also they lay eggs every day. So, and they're guaranteed to be gluten-free because I feed them. So, yeah. Okay, so as far as main courses and meal plans go, think about it. Starch. Think about things that stay good, like rice. Potatoes last a long time if you keep them in a cabinet in the dark. Don't be like me and like leave them on the counter and then watch them sprout and be really sad. I do have a bunch of potatoes planted in a pot downstairs in my basement now. It's really weird. So yeah, starch, veggie, super cheap, protein. Super easy. And now we're gonna make a super fun dessert that you guys will get to try. So yay. So this dessert is gluten-free, vegan, and also very, very cheap. So we're gonna make mango sticky rice. Has anyone ever had mango sticky rice? It's really good. So mango sticky rice, I had no idea about until, oh, they're leaving. It's okay. I know. So mango sticky rice, I had no idea about until I met this guy. And I always thought, oh, like there's not that many, like rice is just rice, right? There's actually many different kinds of rice. And so to make mango sticky rice, you use a rice called glutinous rice, which has no gluten in it, but it's called glutinous, which is very strange and feels really weird for me because I'm like so against the gluten. But basically, it's stickier and smaller grains, and so they hold together. So you can actually use that with a meal too. This is what he does. He'll like take the sticky rice and eat it with like meat and stuff and lemongrass things that I don't know how to cook, and eat it that way as a meal. Or you can make a dessert out of it. So we cooked it in the rice cooker. Traditionally, you would cook it in a bamboo basket, but we don't have access to that here. So we have this bag of mango sticky rice. We cooked it in the rice cooker, and now we're making the topping for it. So the topping is super cheap and super easy. It's the best. So we have 1 can of coconut milk. This will be the most expensive ingredient, usually. I think this was like $1.50. So 1 can of coconut milk. Sam prefers this brand. This is Sam, by the way. His name's Sam. Sam prefers this brand. You can get any brand, but Sam really likes this brand. I don't know why. It's his favorite. And then we have a can of mangoes, which we'll top it with. And then we have some brown sugar. Brown sugar, most people have in their kitchen anyway. If you don't, I recommend it. You don't like sugar? Oh no, I'm sorry. Do you want to know the difference between brown and white sugar? Do you guys know where brown sugar comes from? So brown sugar is just part of the sugar making process, and it's just the sugar that's a little more wet than the white sugar. So the white sugar is the most refined, and then brown, when they actually make it, it'll be white on top, it'll be the most refined, and then brown, and then leftovers, which is molasses. And then if you let that ferment, it becomes rum. That's why pirates drank rum, because it was the cheapest byproduct of sugar making when sugar was really a big trade item in the Caribbean. The more you know. So we poured our coconut milk. This is super easy, so get ready for this. We poured our coconut milk into our frying pan, and we scooped a tiny bit of brown sugar. Now, there is no measurement for this. There's no, I wish I could be like, put like a quarter cup, but you just do it to taste, and you watch it as it reduces. So you guys can probably see it in the mirror. Well, we can't see it from this angle. But you'll watch it reduce, and it'll turn slightly brown. And now we're watching it reduce. It's bubbling up. Do not let it boil. That doesn't leave your frying pan in good shape if you let sugar and coconut milk boil to the frying pan. Don't do that. And you just want to simmer, let it reduce, mix it. So that is the most annoying part of cooking this, is you have to actually mix it. If you're like me and you're like, ugh, I hate doing things, then you're not going to like doing this. But I swear it only takes like 10 minutes, okay?
It's basically good.
Okay. So you wait until it thickens up. I'm not sure. Can you lift up the spoon to show the consistency? So it's gone from super milky to a little bit thicker. It should be a little thicker than that. But yeah. Okay. And then we take the sticky rice, which we've cooked in our rice cooker. Using the glutinous rice, do not use any other rice to try to make sticky rice. That will not work. So see how sticky rice, I can actually like hold it in a ball in my hand, which, I mean, I guess you can hold any rice in a ball, right? That's a bad demonstration. But it's stickier. That's why it's called sticky rice.
It's like stuck to your glove now.
Now it's stuck to my glove. See? Other rice usually doesn't do that. And traditionally, sticky rice will be held in your hand. You'll actually use your hand to eat it instead of using a fork or a knife, which is awesome for people like me who like don't like to do dishes. Yes, so great. Okay, and then you take the sticky rice. What should we use to put this? Parchment paper?
I guess that's all we have.
All we have is parchment paper, guys. You'll take the sticky rice, make a little ball of it, and put some of the topping on it. You can also toast some sesame seeds if you want. They're super delish, but they are kind of expensive, so that's up to you. And also sesame seeds, sometimes they hurt my teeth. Like, I don't know. But the coconut milk is the most important thing to make this have a really good flavor. So you'll put the coconut milk onto the sticky rice, and then you will put a slice of mango on top, and boom, mango sticky rice. The best dessert you will ever try. You guys, it literally changed my life. The only thing that changed my life more than this was discovering queso, like liquid cheese, when I was in college. The kind of cheese that you dip your nachos into. I had never had it as a child, and it changed my life. So queso and mango sticky rice, life-changing. So we are going to put together a couple more samples for you guys so that you can try it if you want to. You can come on up here. And that's my presentation. So if anyone has any questions on where we bought our products, what other products we recommend, anything else, please come up, talk to me. That's what I'm here for. I'm much better at talking to people directly instead of talking to a crowd. So please ask me questions. I have celiac. I can help you if you have celiac too. Okay. Thank you.